Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do another Grubhub competitive tier list. A new patch just dropped recently that brought a ton of changes to the cast. And I feel like the dust has settled enough to where I can definitively place some of the Grubhub characters in their competitive viability and where they stand in the meta. So with that out of the way, let's just get right into it. Okay, so the first character we have on here, by order of the Grubhub character roster, is the Sushi Snacker #1. What I like about Sushi Snacker #1 is that he's very easy to pick up and play. He relies a lot on very good fundamentals, and when you use these fundamentals to great effect, you can do some cool stuff with him. He has some really nice cancels. His neutral is a little bit weird at first, considering he's always holding a phone in his hand, but once you get the hang of it, you can really just get in there and get to your opponent. That said, he's kind of let down by a few things, such as lack of range, but he makes it up with really good utility and really good frame data. So I think I'm just gonna have to put him in A tier so far. Okay, so Sushi Snacker's Echo Fighter, Sushi Snacker 2 is very similar to Sushi Snacker 1. Her specials are almost copy and pasted from Sushi Snacker 1, except that she has a few key differences against a few certain matchups. Like when she's fighting Milkshake Lady right here. Oh, sorry, not Milkshake Lady. When she's fighting Milkshake Girl right here, she has a really good out of shield option with her side B, which is the Sushi Strike, and which is slightly different from Sushi Snacker 1 because the power is within the middle of the chopstick instead of the tip of it. That really covers some of Milkshake Girl's options. I feel like she and Sushi Snacker 1 are kind of interchangeable in the tier list, but you basically use them depending on the situation that you're in. And I feel they have a lot of competitive depth to them that more people need to explore in the future. I see a lot more Sushi Snacker 1 mains, but Sushi Snacker 2, has some pretty situational but good matchups. Okay, so now we move on to Salad Lady. Salad Lady gets kind of a bad rap in the competitive community. People say that she has really poor frame data and that she's a really annoying character to fight against. And I agree with a lot of these things, but I'm just judging this from a purely competitive perspective. She has a few decent tools on her. I really like her anti-air, where she raises her fork right before she's about to take a bite of her salad. That has a lot of range, and that really helps with her slow mobility when she's fighting against fast characters like the kid, because the kid relies a lot on lots of aerials and stuff like that. So she can get through those matchups easier, even though she still has a hard time with them. That said, when you're fighting against her, like other people have said, she can be really annoying, and it can be really hard to find an opening. But as you play more against her, she becomes pretty predictable, and I think she isn't completely bad. Like, I think this is a hot take here, but she isn't. I don't think she's anything really above low end of mid tier, you know. Just because I want to be fair today, I think I'll just put her in C tier. But she's more D tier. But I feel like when optimized, she's an alright mid tier. Alright, so we reached the next character on the Grubhub competitive scene, and it's the one and only Boogie Man. Boogie Man has a lot of versatility with his moveset, and what I like about him is that he's able to convert really he's able to convert whiffs from your opponent into like really good punishes, and he's able to do this flawlessly without needing to rely on any good setups or combos. He has a frame one forward tilt. I think it's called the point, and that one's really good because it's kind of like a jab, but it makes your opponent get off you a lot faster. And I really like his special moves, like Breakdown. That one's really good, where he does a different dance each time. What I like about that is that you can use these dances in different situations. Like for example, one has super armor, another is a counter. I feel Boogie Man really just has a lot of stuff to him that makes him a complete character. He feels really fleshed out, and while he is kind of hard to master, I feel the ceiling for him is pretty high. That said, he's a pretty big character, and he has a big hitbox, which makes him easy to be overwhelmed by smaller characters like the Kid. And you have to be patient when you're using him. You have to know you have to know when to break down, because even if he can convert a whiff into a really good punish, if you're playing against a fast character, they might be able to get out of the way in time and then react with a follow-up attack and take advantage of his mediocre end lag. So for now, I think Boogie Man's he's A tier. I think as he becomes more optimized, he might become low end of top tier, like S tier. But I think for now, he's a pretty good A tier. Oh, okay. Now we move on to the Kid. Okay, so the Kid is probably one of those, probably the best character in this entire game, because he's small, he's fast, he can pancake under a lot of moves, he has really good frame data, he has all these ingredients to make him a perfect character to play as. And it can be pretty hard to fight him because even when you do get him, he can break out of your grasp really quickly. His signature move, which is the jump breakdance, is by far one of the most broken things in this entire game. It's I think it's frame 4, which doesn't sound like it's too bad compared to frame 1 on Boogie Man, but when you consider the properties it has a few frames of invincibility, and how big the hitbox is, and how fast you can act out of it, it really goes to show how many options the Kid has. And I see a lot more people have been picking him up. I don't think they're using him to his fullest capabilities though. I feel like when there's a really good player who comes out of the woodworks and starts using the Kid, it's going to change the entire competitive scene. I hope for the better. I hope the developers will look into ways they can rebalance the Kid while still retaining his fun playstyle. Maybe make his moves less safe on shield, or maybe give him less weight, even though he already weighs pretty light. I feel like both of these changes would do a lot to bring him to a level that would be good for the competitive scene. Okay, and up next we have my main, which is Milkshake Girl. Milkshake Girl is a really cool character. She's a lot of fun to play with. her kit is really cool. She relies mainly on evasive measures by dodging, and she can also pancake under a lot of moves. She has the milkshake meter. When that charges up, she gets milkshake break, which powers up all of her moves for a limited amount of time. And I don't think any other character in the scene has that kind of potential yet. Still waiting for the DLC. I can't wait for that. I really want Boogie Man's brother. I feel like that would be a really fun addition to the game. But anyway, Milkshake Girl is a really solid character. But I guess what holds her back is that in a way she is kind of gimmicky with her milkshake mechanic. Before she gets it, she's a bit weak, and when she gets it, she only has a small window of time to use it. And also because she's pregnant, it's harder for her to move around and attack the opponent. But I think that's the best part about playing her, is that even though you feel like you're at a physical disadvantage, you can still do a lot of things with her. And I feel like the more I play her, I always find something new about her. I really think that her split attack is pretty underrated. So we'll just see how she fares in the competitive scene. I hope more people pick her up, and that's how it'll go. Okay, so up next we have the lady from I didn't think she would get into the game, but I feel like the lady at the table really solidifies what Grubhub is all about, you know, and I guess why we all want to play this game in the first place, and why it's such a fun competitive experience, is because it's about getting your food on time, and I feel like her playstyle really reflects that. She zips in and out, and all of her moves are food based. And I remember her reveal trailer though, like how it said she would deliver the pain. I thought that was a really cool reference by Grubhub. But anyway, I'm just gushing about this character because it means a lot to me. As for what things I feel Grubhub could improve on in the next patch, I feel they could make some of her attacks do a bit more damage, because while she's pretty mobile and fast, she's a little bit light in the damage department. And when she gets her combos set up and she does like 50 attacks, it's only a little bit of damage compared to what Boogie Man can do in like 2 hits, you know. And that's what's really holding her back right now. I don't think she's, you know, high tier or top tier even, but you know, she's around Milkshake Girl tier. Okay, so the baby is my least favorite character in the game. I feel this character was made as a joke by the developers, and I'm really sorry to the 5 baby mains out there, but it's just, his playstyle is just not my thing. I don't like how campy he is. I just don't like his crying sound effect. Yeah, I don't have much to say here other than, that might be a bit too harsh, but you know, he deserves it. Okay, so the guy with the mustache. At first I thought, when the reveal trailer came, I thought it was going to be Dr. Robotnik when I saw the mustache, but it was apparently another well-beloved Grubhub character that we've all come to love and know, the guy with the mustache. And I feel like this was a lot better choice than putting in Dr. Robotnik, but I kind of wish he was in the game still, not gonna lie, but I feel like they're gonna put that in the sequel after, or maybe the DLC, who knows. But anyway, the guy with the mustache, he's just really fun to play. I don't think he's really that good. He suffers a lot from bad frame data. He has a lot of startup on all of his moves, but when you get that sweet spot forward air, it's just the greatest thing in the world. You know, it's like the zoom in, the effect, you know, the crunch. I just love playing him. I know there's a dedicated fan base of Mustache guy mains, but at the end of the day, he's not really that competitively viable. I'd love to see him more in regionals and I guess even my local, but right now he's pretty mediocre. He goes around D tier. Last but not least, we have the blue-haired girl, or the green-haired girl, depending on what skin you pick. Personally, I feel like she was a bit underwhelming to the cast. All of her moves were kind of similar to other characters, but considering how small the development team is right now, I can imagine they had to reuse some of the same moves. That way they could keep costs down and get the game to a finished state, which is fine because she's a base game character. But if she was a DLC character, I don't think she would have been worth the price. But as she stands now, I think she's a good character for people who want to learn the game and for people who just want to practice their fundamentals, much like Sushi Snacker 1 here. Except everything that Sushi Snacker 1 does is better than what she does right here. So if I were to put her on the tier list, it would be probably around C tier. Yeah. Okay guys, that's it. That's my competitive Grubhub tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did I miss anything? Was I wrong about a certain character? Was their frame data off? You know, stuff like that. I'm open to discussion, and I'd really like to see your tier list in the comments. I don't imagine that the kid will get any lower than S or A tier, but it's always nice to see discussion about the Grubhub competitive scene because I love this community so much. So yeah, thank you guys, and please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.